because I had to go get my car towed from like 45 minutes away. If you missed my community post, it turned out that my girlfriend had pegged the problem correctly. Because when I called her and told her, she goes, it's probably just some piece of trash got stuck in the wheel. And I had my car towed so let's back up. So I'm in Wednesday. I had to drive all the way out to the small town in Nebraska that's like an hour and a half away. We did this shoot, and then we drove to a different small town that's only 45 minutes away from Omaha. And after we got to that smaller town, my car started making this really awful grinding noise. Like, I don't know if you've ever had your brakes get wet, and it kind of makes that grinding noise. It was like that, but like 10 times louder. So it's real scary, and like I thought the wheel was gonna fall off or something. So I call my mechanic, I call my friends that know cars, and people are just like, because the only way back to Omaha is on the highway. You gotta be, like the speed limit's like 65. Most people are driving like 70 to 80. So it's like you gotta be going at least 50, and that's dangerous. So like, if you think your wheel's gonna fall off going 50 miles an hour, not a great idea. So I just left it, called AAA, and they were gonna come tow it, and they kind of jerked us around for like 2 hours before finally calling us to be like, there's nobody that's gonna come get it, so you have to wait till tomorrow. Luckily, the next day, the tow truck called, and he's like, yeah, I can put it on the lift, no problem. Like, you guys don't need to be here, I don't need the key. Like, I'll just put it on some plastic dollies and we'll winch it up. No big deal. So luckily, he's able to get there. We don't have to drive the 45 minutes back. And thanks to my dad, who came out and rescued me and also paid for the tow because, his parents doing parent things. Also, I was thinking about this. It's like, my two brothers, it's not like they're moochers, but like they ask for stuff because they know how to ask for help. Whereas I am fiercely independent and refuse to ask for help. And so I was broke. My dad paid for the tow, which was great because I looked at my bank account. I had like $30 in my bank account yesterday. But I got a check for a job. And then I realized I looked at my Venmo. I had like $50 in my Venmo, which is great. And then some very nice person donated $30 through one of my donate links that are in the description, which thank you so much. Like, that is super unexpected and super appreciated. I'm gonna say this because I have trouble accepting help. Donations are awesome, and I super appreciate all of them, and I promise you I put them to good use because I have gotten significantly better with my money, but I do not expect them, and I'm not asking for any help because I have trouble asking for help. But if you want to help, you can help me without giving me your money. If you've got tons of money and like it's no big deal, throw me a couple bucks. I'm super appreciative. But if times are tough for everybody, so there is almost assuredly somebody that needs help more than I do. Give that homeless shelters, dog shelters. Send the money that way. And what you could do is give me your time and your fingers. Give me some comments, or just turn my videos on and just let them play, because that all helps me. The YouTube algorithm, and I get comments all the time where people are like, "This YouTube channel should be bigger," and it's like, maybe, could be. You don't know, could be. But all that stuff helps with the algorithm. Maybe more people will find me, and it'll be great. And then I'll be a YouTube millionaire like Mr. Beast, and I'll go fix people's eyesight or whatever. Anyway, where the fuck was I? I think I got lost in that story. The tow truck tows it to my mechanic. My mechanic calls me that morning. It's like, hey, we can't make this noise. Like, what was the noise like? And then so we go through some questions. I was like, it was the back driver's side rear tire, And so like, okay, we'll put it on the lift. We'll take a look. So they put it on the lift. They pull the tire off, and like a piece of metal had gotten like lodged in it. And so I guess when they pulled it up onto the tow truck, it must have dislodged. So it would have been safe to drive home. And the thing probably would have fell out at some point, and probably fell out on the tow truck, or jostled loose on the tow truck. But they said, we see that where the scraping was happening, this is what it was. It's like a piece of metal or something. So it's like my girlfriend had called it. It was just a piece of trash that got stuck in my wheel. So thankfully, mechanic, we've known him for a long time. I've been taking my car there for like 20 years. because they called me at like 10 in the morning, and they didn't call me and tell me it was done until like 3 o'clock. So I know they were working on it. Like, what the hell's wrong with this thing? Before they found it. So I'm super appreciative of that. It's nice, it's nice to have connections of like, our families go way back. So every now and then, they cut me a deal, and probably because I am a frequent flyer at that that mechanic shop because I love my car. It's almost 20 years old. It's got 200,000 miles on it, but it's a Honda. It's gonna run forever. It's not. I'm actually thinking like it's probably time, sometime this year, maybe to think about replacing it. But I've got the debt built up, and I had to go pay for my alternator last week for $900, which erased basically everything I had like put towards my debt. So it just like set me back to day one. You're just like, fuck. So so all things considered, it could have been a lot worse. And then today I had a job, which was good. I just got focus. This guy's losing focus all of a sudden. And I booked another job for next week for 2 days, which is awesome because that's a good chunk of cash. And I played Warhammer today, and it was my first time playing with my Imperial Knights, and I won for the first time in 10 games, which feels really good, even though the guy I was playing against, it was his first game ever, so it's kind of more of a teaching game. But I'll take a win where I can get one. After 10 straight losses, it's nice to have a win. It's just nice to get a win. What is that from? Something. Anyway. So I've got a bunch of photos to edit. And I've got a job tomorrow night that should be super chill and easy. I've got my church gig on Sunday. Then Monday, taking the day off. I think I'm going to teach someone how to play Kill Team. And then Tuesday, I might get another Warhammer game in. And then back to work for the rest of the week, which is great. It feels good to be working. It's a little like, feels like it hit hard. Like the start of the year, like the first 2 months were slow, and now March is just like, let's go. And you're like, okay, let's do it. Like, it's starting to get the overwhelm patterns, but I feel like I'm being much more intentional with my time. I'm being much more anti-heroic effort, and that seems to be helping to take the small chunks and do just a little bit at a time, and just kind of like not run myself into the ground. Then need to take 3 days off of doing nothing. And so I know a big part of that also is to like set boundaries. And so like someone was like, hey, do you have time Monday for a meeting? And I was like, no, because that'll be like the meeting was like 9 in the morning, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, have a meeting at a normal time, not Monday at 9 a.m. Like, no thanks. So I was just like, I'm booked that day because I'm booked. I needed to say that, to say I am booked for myself. I am not available that day because that day I'm gonna be working on personal projects. Because if I go those like a month or 2 months or 3 months where I'm just working nonstop and I'm making ASMR videos, I notice my happiness goes quite downhill. And I know like efficiency, ROI, this is terrible ROI. I say this all the time. I make like $10 a month making these videos, which if you work out the hourly rate is less than $1 or something like that. Like, YouTube can be lucrative because my other channel makes a good amount of money, but I put in like 1% of the effort that I put in on this channel. So it's not an effort to outcome. I mean, it might be if you did smart things with your effort, like making thumbnails and strategy. But I want to make what I want to make, and this is what I want to make. So this is what you get. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna start booking myself for saying like, no, Monday. That's my day to play Warhammer and fuck around on YouTube. So I think that I've come to a place in my career where I can kind of afford to like forego bullshit meetings that I don't need to be a part of. That could have been an email. Almost always these meetings could be an email, because it's just like people come in, they ask you questions they already asked you. And then it's just like, you do the small chit chat for like 10 minutes, and you're just like, I don't get to look at my Facebook page. I don't live that interesting of a life. I work, I play Warhammer, I play hockey, and then I go home with my girlfriend and my dog, and I don't do anything interesting aside from that. So it's just like, I don't need to chit chat. I don't care how your kids are doing. I don't, like, this is a work relationship. But the problem with that is that you gotta have the personal connection so you don't get hired next time. So you gotta just autism. I don't understand the personal chit chat, which is also hard for me because, and I don't want to say this to sound braggy or anything like that, but apparently people seem to like me, probably because I have a crippling need to be a people pleaser, so that's probably a large part of it. But it seems like people really enjoy being around me, and so oftentimes people are like, we should hang out, and I'm like, unless you're playing hockey or Warhammer, I don't want to, or we're making stuff. That's it, you get these 3 things. But come to my house? God no. No one can come to my apartment. This is me and my girlfriend's space, and begrudgingly we will let maintenance people in. Everybody else stays the fuck out of it. And this is, it's the Fortress of Solitude. And my girlfriend's a polar bear. Don't tell her I said that. You can tell her I said that. She'll probably laugh. Or she'll punch me. Either way. Or she'll throw a shoe at me again. Good thing she's not in here. She'll probably throw a shoe right now. Nah, she'd probably laugh. Anyway, yeah, so it's if I feel like a jerk sometimes, but I've gotten to the point in my life, I used to just be like, yeah, maybe, and then I just be like, oh, I'm busy, when people would call me to hang out and stuff. But now I just honestly, man, I don't hang out with anybody. If you want to play Warhammer, I'll teach you how to play, but unless you're gonna play hockey, which most people obviously don't. We're probably not gonna hang out unless you want to make videos. In which case, great, I'm there all day, every day. Let's hang out and make videos. And I often think about if I could get a job just on a film crew, working regularly 2-3 times a week, that'd be. I would take cut rates for it. So think about that. If you want to be my friend, get a bunch of work and hire me, and I'll work for cheap, and we'll be buddies. I'll give you mates rates. It'll be great, and then I won't have to worry about finding clients and stuff myself. Wonderful. So yeah, anyway, all that to say, things are temporarily, knock on wood there, kind of on the upswing. I've got some money in my bank account, which is good. I've got some invoices out, which is good. I had some jobs this week that got completed, which is good. I'm getting very good at, not very good, but I'm getting better at sending invoices quickly so I can get paid quickly, as opposed to just when I used to send an invoice a month later and then get paid a month after that. So I would because the check I just deposited, this is irrelevant, this was more bureaucracy, was for a job I did in November, and the check had just come last week, so there's that. But also pushing more for YouTube, and then hopefully I can build some sort of sustainable income from this, even if it's only just a small part. But yeah, that'd be sweet. If this channel made as much money as my white noise channel, it would pay my rent, which would be amazing. To pay your rent by just rambling about dumb bullshit on the internet. I could do that all day, every day. I could become a streamer and just ramble about bullshit. That would probably destroy my voice, but I would do it for you people. Anyway, I've thought about doing streaming because now I have the setup for it. Also, side note, I kind of want to play Helldivers. It looks super fun. Do you play Helldivers? Is it fun? Everyone's going to say yes. I don't need it. I'm being responsible with money. I don't need to spend $40 on a video game right now. But it does look fun. So, maybe I will convince my girlfriend to buy it. And we have Steam sharing, so then I can play her Helldivers. IQ move. Now that seems mean. I'm not going to do that. Or maybe, could be. Maybe it'll go on the Steam sale soon. I don't think it will. It's so popular. But it might. Could. You don't know. Yeah, so that's the life update. And yeah, I feel like we kind of got off track this week. So I'm gonna spend next week getting back on track with my goals, and punching teeth, kicking this year's face in. It's the big thing I really want to do, is to really punch the lights out. I haven't heard that phrase. If you heard that phrase, excuse me, and just punch somebody's phrase lately. Let's bring that phrase back. We're gonna punch this year's lights out. I like kick its teeth in. That's fun. Kick your, because it reminds me of Scott Pilgrim, where they're at the very end of all that. Like we are sex bomb, and we're here to watch Scott Pilgrim kick your teeth in. I'm like, yeah, that's me with this year. Let's do it. But I looked at my spreadsheet, and I am already ahead of where I was at the end of the month last year. This time, I'm already hold on. Last year, at the end of March, I was at 14.40%. This year, already, currently today, even after I factor in getting hit in the face on my debt payoff goal with the alternator bill that put me back to worse than zero, I am ahead. I'm at 16.67%, and that's 15 days, more than 15 days ahead. So it's pretty good. Obviously, a little off par to get 100%. We're not at 100. We're not 100%ing it, which is fine. But we're doing better than we did last year. We're doing better than we did the year before. Very nice. So I'm excited. I think this year, and my goals are sufficiently tough that I would feel super accomplished if I got anywhere near 100%. So I'm excited, and I have some carrots. I basically have made a deal with my girlfriend that I can't buy Warhammer stuff unless certain circumstances happen. Like I got to buy my big Imperial Knight because I went and did a big scary job that paid thousands of dollars, and I had to get on an airplane for it with camera equipment, which is super scary to me. So she's like, fine, I'll let you buy a Warhammer for that. But the other, if I get 50% on a goal before the halfway point of the year, which is July 2nd or 3rd, I forget, then for each goal I do it on, I could buy one Warhammer. One, which right now my big thing is I want to build out Imperial Knights. So if I work real hard and get those Imperial Knights, I can get them. I can get my boys, and I have 1,000 points now, and 2,000 points is kind of the standard. Which luckily you only need 2 Imperial Knights to get about 1,000 points. So get them Imperial Knights, baby. I think I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be great. I got 3 months. 3.5 months really to kick some teeth in, and I'm excited about it. I'm gonna do it. I don't know what goal is gonna be the easiest to work on, but I am excited to punch out. We're pretty close. We're up on 1. We're close on 2, and then we're like way behind on like 3 of them. So, and the rest are kind of in various stages of being behind. But I think I can make it up. So I'm excited to try. I'm excited to inspire. If this inspires you to set goals yourself, I think you should. It has been life-changing for me over the last 10 years. It took a while to get a system in place, and hopefully through my explanations of my system, you have gleaned something. And if not, maybe I'll ask questions. I'm happy to answer them. I'll talk about goals all fucking day. I love that shit. And if you need help like deciding your goals, I will help you with that too, because fucking great. Everyone just set goals. It's amazing. It's the best thing. Maybe it's my autism. I don't know. I make that joke that I'm like, I'm on the spectrum enough that I'm fucking weird, but not so on the spectrum that I'm not self-aware of it, but on the spectrum enough to know that I don't know how to not be weird. My only strategy for not being weird is just to not talk. Which, when you're 6'6" and you weigh like 260 pounds, and I'm kind of muscly now, like I'm not super ripped, but like I got forearm veins, like it's super intimidating until I start talking and people are like, "That's your voice." That's my girlfriend made fun of me the other day, because I was like, we were talking about, that was today. I was talking about like how people think I'm intimidating and stuff, and then she's like, "Yeah, but then once people talk to you for like 5 minutes, that you're not intimidating." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, it's your voice." And I'm like, "Thanks, babe." Because my voice, for someone who's 6'5" and like 260 pounds, like, my voice is wildly high. And I guess just like give off a vibe that's non-intimidating and non-judgmental, which makes me really good at interviewing people for making videos, which is cool. But that's also something that I've kind of realized throughout my life is like, I feel like, and maybe this is the autism of like asking people like very direct pointed questions that are kind of personal, but like something about my vibe makes them trust me, which is fair because like I'm not judging, like I do weird shit. Obviously I'm aware enough that this shit I do is weird, so I'm fine to talk about weird shit all day. And so that has gotten me like a lot of like acquaintances that I know a lot about that like maybe is not something that just a casual acquaintance would normally know. So it's kind of like a fun autism superpower I have, which is kind of like the opposite of most autistic people. So I don't know, and I haven't been officially diagnosed with autism, but like I took that test online. There's like a test online that has like a pretty good accuracy rate, and it's like, yup, you're definitely on the spectrum, buddy. And then like the more I learn about autism and ADHD, I'm like, I'm on something. There's a spectrum here, and I'm on the deep end of one of them, probably both of them. The ADHD, whatever. I don't know. I asked my doctor once about getting tested for ADHD. I was like, I think I might have ADHD, and she was like, oh yeah, definitely. And I was like, what does that mean? She's like, yeah, you've got it. She's like, we can get you diagnosed if you want. And then I forgot to follow up on that. So I think that's confirmed that I probably have ADHD because I forgot to follow up after my doctor told me I definitely had ADHD. So that's fun. Anyway, that's all I got today. Things are looking up. I got zoomies. I'm feeling good. I won my Warhammer game today. So I'm gonna go work on some stuff. Try to get my 50% before my 50% so I can buy my 2 more Night Boys and get my Warhammer time on. Yeah, you. So, anyway, all that said, I hope your week has not been a fucking roller coaster like mine was. And if it was, fortify, motherfucker, we're gonna get through this. I believe in you. Let's set some goals. Let's crush our goals. Let's do the thing. Let's make spreadsheets because we have autism and it's gonna be wonderful. And you're gonna learn how to do Google Sheets. You're gonna get a new skill out of it, even better, something you didn't even intend. And then people will be like, oh, you really like doing Google Sheets because you make spreadsheets for your goals and stuff, right? And I'd be like, yeah. And they'd be like, you want to help with the spreadsheet thing for work? And I'll go, now. Which is a weird thing that I have trouble keeping track of like my finances and stuff. But I'm like, spreadsheets. But they're like, spreadsheets for this? And you're like, now. Spreadsheets only for my hyper-focused interests. Yeah, I'm definitely autistic. So anyway, hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Have a good one.